Party people, what's going on? Samaj Marshall, founder of BlueDeathValley.com. I want to welcome you guys back to a special edition, once again, part 2 of Bill Hayes Celebration Week. First time ever, we assembled a whole 7-day period to honor the living legend, Bill Hayes. Of course, I got my two co-hosts here to help me out for a long time. A&T Inside, read right on BlueDeathValley.com for over 2 decades. My right-hand man, current president of Greensboro chapter AAF, Craig Turner. What's up, CT?
Hey, what's up, man? Glad to be here tonight. It was kind of a weird day, a lot of rain, a lot of running around, but let's get this thing going.
Yeah, and of course, Greensboro native, former A&T wide receiver, and he happened to play for the man of honor that we honored tonight, Coach Bill Hayes. One of my best friends, I would say. Doug Fresh Brown, what's going on, Doug?
Yo, what's up, guys? How we doing? Aggie Pride.
Man, listen, I'm kind of flustered because we've been trying to put this together and we having a whole bunch of things behind the scenes. But hey, guess what? It all came to a head, and everybody's here and ready to go. So let me bring on, without further ado, the man of the hour, the guy we're honoring and remembering for all his great accomplishments. He is an icon of HBCU football, Mr. Bill Hayes. Coach Hayes, how you doing?
Hey, Shamaz, how you doing, man? I'm having fun. Hey, good to see you guys. Good to see you guys, and I'm glad to be here. And thank you for celebrating me. And you know, the guys have celebrated me all along, and I've been, but this is all good, and I'm proud.
Well, Coach, like I say, it's an honor to have you spend some time. I know you're in Atlanta, Georgia right now, because this is Bill Hayes Celebration Week on Blue Death Valley, but you're also getting honored from other parts of the country, and everyone wants to, shake your hand and give you a hug. This is your birthday was on Sunday. So what are you doing in Atlanta right now?
Black College Hall of Fame weekend in Atlanta, and today we had the Black College Hall of Fame golf tournament. Okay. And I played about 12 holes, and then I had to leave because I had to be on this program. They still they still over there celebrating. And but then Saturday we have the induction banquet. Tomorrow we have a question and answer period for the inductees, and so I try to always come and support this. I missed a couple of years, but I come down here and fight to try to get our guys from our area, from A&T and the schools up in the north, because the Black College Hall of Fame is really dominated by SWAC schools, the Grambling and and so I've been fighting for 15, 20 years trying to get our kids included in it, and it is like pulling teeth, but we'll keep fighting.
Gotcha. Well, Coach, we appreciate your time and cutting away. I know you was probably 10 under par. You was probably having the round of your life on that golf course, but you snuck away to talk to us. And we want to just talk about the thing with this show is the birth of the Blue Death defense. Obviously, our platform, our website is called Blue Death Valley. That's the name you came up with to symbolize your brand of football. You named your defense the Blue Death defense, and it stuck and resonated, and people had to live up to that mantra. And we love, as fans, we loved it. We adopted it for our website, our fan group. And so we want to talk about how that came to be. And we got some guys who played a pivotal role in establishing that culture over the years. And some of those guys want to join the show. First, let me bring in Jay Reed. He was a middle linebacker for you in the mid-90s. And he was a guy who made an impact on the field, but also in the locker room. He was a big culture guy. And like he's been on our show before. And like I said, if you come around Jay Reed, you automatically start smiling because he has so much charisma, so much energy. Let me bring Jay Reed to the program. Mr. Reed, what's going on, bro?
Hey, what's going on? How you guys doing? First, giving honor. How you doing, Coach Hayes? First, got to give much.
Hey, how you doing, man?
How you doing?
I love it.
Hey, I feel some kind of way because you in my city. But don't worry, I'm going to see you while you're here.
Yes, sir. And of course, Jay Reed was on our program I think it was a year ago, and you still do the big bike. You're outdoor enthusiast. You still do the bike crew. Y'all go around Atlanta and other cities, and it's called the Dope Peddlers, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Gotcha. So you still got that going on. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the show. And another guest we got here, Coach. This is a bad dude. I'm just going to say the numbers. You tell me who it is. 21 and a half. 21 and a half. Who do you think that is, Coach Hayes?
21 and a half.
Yeah, who do you think that is?
Hey, 21 and a half sacks.
This guy right here, 21 and a half sacks.
Chris McNeil?
Yes. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
wait a minute. You got to get it right, Shamar. Chris had 27 sacks.
Yeah, shortchange you, Chris. How many did you have in 1 year? In that season?
They didn't count sack fumbles, strip fumbles, and sack and a fumble.
What?
So there's no telling where that was. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So hey, Coach, good to see you, man. I'm glad you upright. You doing what you always doing, man. And when you down there, man, remind them guys that you got a guy that was the first player from in NCAA history that ever won the Buck Buchanan Award. Nobody ever won that. And nobody ever in black college history ever hit over 21 and a half sacks. So when you stick that in their pocket, see what they say.
Yes, sir.
It's good to see you, but tonight is about honoring you, man, and everything you've done for us. You know, I'm not gonna take up. I mean, everybody got so many great stories. I'm blessed, so I was honored when somebody said, "Hey, Coach, yeah, hell yeah." Right now, I'm sorry. I canceled practice tonight just for this. We moved it to Friday.
Oh man, I love it, man. I appreciate you. Coach is kind of frozen in Atlanta, but let's talk. He can hear us, I believe. So, real quick, Jay, I know because you got some stuff going on. You got to get out of here pretty soon. But as Coach is listening, talk a little bit about Blue Death, the culture of what it was back then, and what you guys tried to embody playing for Coach Hayes.
Well, first, like I said, it's amazing the things that Chris accomplished. Yeah. He was playing right to the front of me, so I could see a lot of the miraculous plays that the brother was making. Oftentimes, bending them back in my way, that's how I got a lot of tackles myself. But what we tried to do in practice, for me, sometimes I used to get sent in from practice, Coach will tell you, because I used to be full speed, even in practice, because I only knew one speed. And for me, it was because I loved the game. And when you were dealing with the culture of Blue Death, you were dealing with people who love the game of football. When he talked about football, we talked about Blood Alley, is what Coach Hayes would talk about. And when he talked about walking down Blood Alley, he said he wanted some guys that he could go into those situations with. And as a football player, to have someone in leadership that wasn't talking about sending you somewhere, but saying, hey, we're going to go do this thing together. And when you looked at him, everybody look at their dad and think that he's the baddest thing walking. So we looked at Coach Hayes oftentimes as him being somebody that could lead us in the battle, and we were proud to do whatever with him. Because I'll be quite honest with you, sometimes there would be a little fear. Never fear of the opposition, because I didn't care about what they were going to do. I was only scared that I might not meet my teammates' expectations. So then I was really concentrating on doing my job, because I didn't want to make that man right there disappointed. You understand what I'm saying? Actually, both of those guys. I wanted to do my job, and I think that was the culture of Blue Death, was doing your job. And if you do that, everything else would tend to take care of itself. Nobody wanted to be the weak link in the chain. And of course, we had such a great leader. Oh man, it was imperative. Another thing he used to say was, you ain't gonna be around to see the grass get green again. I heard him tell somebody, hey, call his mom and tell him crank up his paper route because he's going back home. So I didn't want to be one of the people to go back home. So I was going to try to knock somebody's head off on every Saturday so I could make sure that I secured my bedroom in Cooper Hall. So just wanted to give an honor to Coach, jump on here and let you guys know when he talks with this charisma. The last time he was on you guys' show, everybody that played for Coach Hayes who watched it, they felt that in their heart. They wanted to come through the screen because, I don't know, if I would have been driving down the street and would have seen somebody, me at 50 years old, having a pickup football game, I might have pulled over and told somebody head off on the side of the street, because he has that uncanny ability to motivate the players. And so, Coach, from me, Jay Reed, I just want to say thank you. And I know all of the guys on here are going to echo the same sentiments. You've loomed large. I know they put a statue of you in Winston-Salem. I hope they made it 50 feet tall, because it would have to be that tall to measure up to the man that you've been for a lot of us. And I wanted to say thank you from me to you.
And before you leave, Jay, I know you got a tight schedule, but I'm gonna have a little fun here. People who might not know Jay, his accolades on the football field. He was a serious inside linebacker. Played at you went Burleson Williams.
I played at Cummins High School. You know, I get several rings. I don't want to talk about it. But in the championship game, I had 15 tackles, 4 causes, 3 fumble recoveries. I kicked 2 field goals and 4 extra points. But ain't nobody talking.
All right, so
one game.
So before you get out of here, check out this highlights play. So Chris McNeil did most of the work. And you come and knock this guy's lid off. Hey, now listen, Jay, this is a different era, right? You guys but I'm not sure if in 2025 you would have been sitting in the locker room. Let's see if this is clean by today's standards. But this is a little bit what that Blue Devil defense running around in the mid-90s.
Hey, listen, I would have got you out the game, but that was then, this is now. Hey, look, that was then, this is now.
I don't know, man. Hey, Chris, what you say, man? Yay and nay. When he stayed in the game, if this is 2025, Chris can't call it.
No.
Hey, man. I love you guys, man. I'm out of here.
All right, Jay, man. Good to see you, man. Keep it up, bro.
All right, Jay. Appreciate it.
But listen, Coach can see us. I hope you can hear us. Yeah, he'll try again. But let me give him a chance to restart. But guys, so we're gonna keep it moving, and we got another guest in here as Coach get his thing straight out. He's a guy who's also real busy, been in transit, and he was the heart and soul of one of those later defenses that Coach had. This is the 1999 Blue Devil version. And Chris, this is the one that actually went and won the HBCU National Championship. He played free safety for us back in the day, and his accomplishments on the field they pale in comparison to what he achieved post football. He's a double major at A&T, started his own engineering firm. And now this for giggles, he went to law school at Howard and got top honors in law school. Let me bring you to my brother, Daryl Clue. What's going on, Daryl?
Victoria.
Aggie Pride, my people's out here. Yes, sir. And yes. Coach in here. What's up, y'all?
Yeah.
So coach's signal is still kind of bad, guys, but we gonna work around it. Coaches, you guys are used to playing hurt and playing on the bum ankle and making it happen. So coach is gonna help us out and just be there on the sideline for right now. But Daryl, thank you so much for taking time to join this program, man. No problem. I know you said you were at the airport and everything.
Yeah.
Daryl, help us out, man. Just give me an idea of when you got to A&T, you first met Coach Hayes. He said, I want you to play for me. What was the understanding that you had to meet to be part of this Blue Devil defense?
Yeah. So my freshman year, a lot of people don't start as a freshman, but in recruiting, coach said, listen, if you come to this school and you as bad as you think you are, you could start your first year. Case closed. Because everybody want to play, right? So when everybody was saying, he say that to everybody, says that to everybody. But I took it for real. So when we came into camp, it was me and it was another cornerback from Charlotte. His name was Josh Rogers. We both came in, and we knew that we were competing we thought that we were competing for a job, and we were roommates, which is wild. But Coach Hayes said, listen, you can show it on the field. If you can go out here and prove it on the field, there's nothing going to stop you from playing. So all through camp, I had practiced. I had worked out so hard that summer. I was getting ready. I was telling my pops, like, no, I'm going up here to play. And pops was like, it's fine. It's cool. You're going to get a degree, though. I'm like, no, I'm going to play. So came into camp, went crazy in camp, and wound up starting. So I wound up starting in that first game. It was the Aggie Eagle Classic. We played Central down at in Raleigh. I was still 17 years old. I was a 17-year-old freshman, and you got dudes like C. Mack in here, grown men, Torrin James. They like, hey, freshman, don't get beat deep. Don't get beat deep. All I was worried about was not getting beat deep. But yeah, I remember that like it was yesterday. 17 years old, Carter Finley Stadium. I don't know, 30-some thousand people, a bunch of that was back when the Aggie Eagle Classic was a big rivalry game. Even though we was beating them, and we brought the whole, it felt like we brought the whole state out. So it was a big deal, and I remember that. That was great. And then after that, just kept on playing, and we did pretty good. We had some
pretty
dogs
good. Pretty good, huh?
Yeah. Hey, we had some dogs in the MEAC back then. We had some dogs in the MEAC.
Hey, Craig, I would say if you want to have a good argument at homecoming, let's compare that 2017 team to that 1999 team. All time,
wow,
Dougie. If you want to get to a heated argument, compare 1999 versus 2017, best A&T team of all time.
I tell you what, who I'm taking on defense. There's no question. That's not defense, man. With the captain back there in the back end, from head to toe, man. That was a tough unit. Probably the smartest unit to ever play at A&T, and I think that group really epitomized what Coach Hayes wanted to put together on defense. Fast, athletic, smart group that would knock your snot and break your plate. There was no question about it.
And you know what's so funny is that all of them guys were freshmen when I played as a senior, and they all understood the assignment and what it is. Brad Holmes,
I'm giving them the unit, Mac. I'm giving them the unit, but in terms of the front. With the bookends now, I mean, it's got to go to you and your other side over there at Pearl Shack, man. In terms of the bookends,
yeah, that's different. But
that's different.
That's different. No, I'm not saying that. That's different. But whole team wise, like up front from the linebackers, defensive line to the linebackers to the safeties, like them boys watched us play. Like there were nights on Thursday night. Clue will tell you this. Thursday nights, we didn't go out. We had a meeting. Coach Hayes, I don't get you in trouble. We had keys to your locker room, and we just had football meetings on Thursday nights at the stadium. You know what I mean? And just, so all of that they learned what not to do. Because that 90, I still have nightmares about that 97 season Clue. You know what I mean? Like we lost 4 games by a total of 21 points. You know what I mean? And if I could do anything different, you feel me? So. Clue them achieved in 99 what we were trying to achieve in 97. You know what I mean? So if you
just go by the roster in that 97 team, man. Oh man, just the up front with House, C Mac, Pelshak. Oh man.
Mind you, your freshman that came in with you, Big Rube, was a senior.
Rube. Yeah.
Brad was a freshman on that squad. Leonard Relford was a transfer. I want Von Keith, man,
Von Keith.
God almighty. Anyway, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? It just set it up everything. Like most of them boys that came in 96, 97, they watched us go down. Like they watched it. They just made up in their mind that, man, we gonna win this outright.
Look, see, Mac, he named all the defensive guys, man, but that group was potent on offense too, man.
Yeah.
I grew up, under the footsteps of Chris Caldwell, CC, all those guys, man, and Marcus Braggs.
So we had Mo and Bass Night in the same backfield, dog. Like both of them went to the league, dog. We had
Henry Douglas went to the league.
In the league.
Greg Coley had a chance to play in the league.
Yeah.
Jerome Knight had a chance to play in the league. You know what I mean?
All these guys, man. Endless. I consider that 97 to 99. I mean, you can say talent-wise. I mean, it was a golden era for. We always say it for black college football, because Tennessee State and those other guys were doing what they were doing, but. In terms of Aggie football, man, I had a chance to be around those guys, man, and be in practice and hang out and see how you guys interacted, man. And you're right, the camaraderie, those are some of the things that when I got to A&T, I tried to bring to our team, man, and just pass those things down Me and little T-Bone, shout out to my boy T-Bone Jr., man. We were able to run around and you guys' footsteps, man, pick up all of that. So people talk about passing it down and what it means to be an Aggie and Aggie football, man. That's what it is in a nutshell, man. You guys are right on it.
That was back when Coach Hayes was Wild Bill. Coach Hayes Hall of Fame. He Hall of Fame everywhere now. So he done calmed down a little bit, but that was back when he was Wild Bill.
Yes, sir.
Hey, but check this out. We'll talk about these great players we had under Coach Hayes. He recruited everybody. And I got some film on both of you guys. So let's start with Chris McNeil, because when you talk about 21.5 sacks in 1 year, Daryl, it don't sound real, do it?
21 sacks still crazy. 21 sacks is still crazy.
Let me show everybody just what it looked like on the field, because everybody think maybe the quarterback just stumbled and he got some easy sacks. He didn't have to do too much. This man was like the Tasmanian devil going across the field. His hair was on fire on every play. Let me show you guys Chris McNeil in his prime.
In there. As time throw runs into the middle of the field.
That's him walking down a fleet-footed quarterback. Yeah.
Shotgun. Everybody's covered. He decides to take it upfield on his own, and he comes up shy of the first down yardage by about 2.
Fair catch called for.
That's Chris McNeil.
White works.
He's come up to the edge.
That Y5. Got him. Got him.
Hey, look, they was trying. Like, I was watching this game. They tried to chip you and double team you every play, and it really didn't work. I mean, you had like 4 sacks in the first half, man.
42 sacks coming into the game for the North Carolina A&T defense. McNeil had 14. He had 10 in the last 3 games.
A ball player who plays with a lot of intensity. He's quick. He's fast. Very mobile.
43 ain't know what he was doing. Got him.
And that was against a run. That was like a short down. I think it was 4th and goal or 4th and 1 and a 3rd and 1. They try to get a first down, and they said, "Well, we run. All he is an edge rusher. He can't stop the run." And man.
Yeah.
And listen, man, the crazy part.
Look at that. That's form, tackling, everything.
Deserves it.
There it is.
Even this year completed it.
Is that BJ Little?
Yep.
Scraping
over top.
Ted White
got off the ball. Got him.
And a sack and a fumble.
But this skill set, if Chris McNeil is coming out in the draft next year, man.
Oh no, Chris! I hate to tell you.
Either one of these guys, man.
You're about 20 years too soon, because you're probably a multi-millionaire. you probably make about $1 million a year playing edge for some school.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Samaj, what's so crazy? This is the same game. This is the same game.
No. Hey, Daryl.
That's 3 sacks. That's 3 sacks already.
This is the same quarter. This is I didn't even. No, I was running behind. I was just trying to cut up some highlights. This is he helped me out. He put all this stuff in like the first 5 minutes.
Came into the game with 14.
Another time on the right,
crazy.
Deployed him out of the middle.
That's crazy.
Tough, tenacious.
And see, that is we hear honoring Coach Hayes, obviously, and Coach Hayes saw something in you to even offer you a scholarship to come to A&T. You were at North Carolina State, ran into a little bit of some problems over there, and Coach Hayes, as everyone's been talking about this whole week, he saw past some of those challenges and saw the man who you could be.
Yeah.
And gave you the opportunity. You came here. Not only did you make the most opportunity, I mean, you probably left as one of the greatest edge rushers in Black college history. And let's talk a little bit about the opportunity that Coach gave you to have a second chance.
Well, I always tell people this, man. Coach Hayes took a lot of heat from bringing me in. I was all over. I started at NC State. I had led that team in sacks and only started in like 3 games. So the spring of '96, everybody was looking forward to all of us coming back and starting, man. And so when I made that mistake, I tell people all the time, sometimes you make a bad mistake, but end up turning the best mistake you ever made in your life. And I wouldn't change it for the world, And I was paraded on ESPN as just monster. You know how they do, with breaking news and all of this. And so Coach Hayes had to go and convince Willie Burton, who was an NC State alumni, that, man, we need this man. You know what I mean? We need to get this man in here some kind of way. You know what I mean? And he stuck his neck out for me. You know what I mean? And I never forget him. He, when I came down and met with Coach Hayes, Coach Hayes, I tell people this all the time. But the very first thing Coach Hayes told me, he said, God told me you was going to call me. And the way it worked out was I had a homeboy, Delane, who he was like USA Parade All-American, didn't work out with him at NC State. We came in together. He came down and sat with Coach Hayes, and he said, man, you need to call Coach Hayes. Gave me Coach Hayes' number. I called Coach Hayes, came down, sat in the trailer, and he told me that. And he said, now I'm gonna tell you like this. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give you somewhere to live. I'm gonna give you an opportunity, you know what I'm saying, get your education, and I'm gonna give you a fresh start. And it's on you. And he tried to give me, I think, number 91 or something. I don't know what Coach tried to give me. You know what I mean? And I said, hold up, Coach. You know what I'm saying? Let's wait and see how this preseason over with, and then we'll figure out what number we can come up with. You know what I mean? And Coach Hayes, from my understanding, had never gave a defensive lineman no kind of single digit. So the irony behind all that, you know what I'm saying, the same day he gave me that digit was like 2 years before that, was the same day my mom passed on June 9th in 1994. Ironic, Maceo wore number 9. He's from Charlotte. I'm from Charlotte. He gave me number 9, and man, he just, he allowed me to be me. He allowed me. My coach loved me so much that he took me off being a captain before the game because mentally I didn't believe in shaking hands. You remember that, Clue? Yeah. And we didn't believe in, if you pick up somebody from the other team and he was hurt, we gonna fight you on the field. You know what I mean? Like, remember the time I got on Pellsack? Like, what are you doing
in the locker room? Don't help him up. Don't help him up.
Yeah. No. So he allowed that he allowed all the everything I had built up in me. He allowed me to express that on the field. You know what I mean? So every weekend it was like, man, what he gonna do? Who he gonna become? And then it got to a point where in practice, you know what I mean, everybody had to pick it up. If he gonna make all the plays, or if you don't, you know what I mean? He gonna make all the plays, you better step it up, or you're not gonna make any plays. And so it was just like a me against the world kind of attitude that he allowed me to like just consume, and it just became infectious amongst the defense. Jay Reed, Big House, Pellsack. I think Pellsack had 16 sacks. He probably had 20-something sacks himself, but they didn't count sack fumbles. You know what I mean? So forever, man. Like I mean, like in everything that I do in all my endeavors, you know what I mean? I wouldn't be where I am. I would be the man that I am. None of us would be. You know what I mean? Like we all got a Bill Hayes attitude. You know what I mean? And we like, man, I look at, and I don't not to say this to say, like I said, I played at 2 universities. I can just look at what God blessed me with, the opportunity to be coached by Coach Hayes in my most critical time in my life, growing up as a young man. You follow me? And then I look at others that played at other institutions with me. Might have went to Carolina, went to NC State. And I can tell you this right now, Derek Clue, my dog, he a valedictorian. You know what I mean? Like Coach Hayes got like leaders. Like when I went to his top 40, and I saw he got congressmen, like generals and armies, like man, just coaches. You know what I mean? Like that becomes infectious. You know what I mean? For us, and so like. I had a great career. That's cool. But what he's done for me as a man, far supersedes anything.
And see, go ahead, Daryl. But I was going to just say, Yeah, go ahead, add in. I'm sorry.
Wanted to just add that Coach Hayes he's a leader in all of that, but he knows how to tailor his leadership to each team. So a person like C-Mac, like Chris McNeil, leadership styles. He was the emotional leader of the team. Coach Hayes can be the emotional leader of the team. He can be the watchdog of it. He can be all of that. But when he has somebody like C-Mac that could lead a group of people to run through a wall, Coach Hayes don't have to get a long speech. Because C-Mac about to come out here and have everybody ready to cry, ready to bite somebody's head off. So Coach Hayes just got to come in there and say, y'all better get it done. And C-Mac is like, I got it from here. And next thing you know, C-Mac ain't got to come to the lead to the captain's circle, because C-Mac back in the locker room getting people ready to bite somebody's head off. Yeah. So you can send Pitt, or you can send Ben Garrett or somebody else out here to go shake hands, because C-Mac back in the locker room. Coach Hayes over at the side smoking a cigarette, and C-Mac about to have everybody pull a hamstring trying to bite somebody's head off coming out the locker room. And then other years where we ain't have a C-Mac, Coach Hayes come in here, he start blowing smoke, and people ready to kick the door open. He said he had us, you know what I mean? So just the fact that he can tailor his leadership style to the group of people that he had. Yeah, he didn't need to go in there with the rah-rah, because C-Mac gonna he gonna get everybody ready. But there was other years where we didn't have C-Mac, and Coach Hayes had in there. He came in here, you know, kicking and punching. Other team didn't stand a chance.
So Doug, did you see the quote unquote Wild Bill persona when you were playing for him? What type of?
Well, like I said, having the experience of being on the sideline or hanging out around these guys, man, you know, Coach Hayes started early, man. He used to make me and T-Bone getting stretch lines like when they was warming up. And I'm like, Coach, I ain't got no equipment on, like what I'm doing out here in the summer with these guys. But he was you know, training us up early, man, and showing us the way. And so, you know, again, I was honored to be recruited by Coach Hayes. You know, he was like a father figure for me. Probably his biggest reason as I went to A&T is you know, that along with my father and the lineage. But you know, from day one, you know, Coach Hayes wrapped his arm around me, and like similar to Clute, you know, my first game was the Aggie Eagle as a true freshman, and I think I was, you know, getting a few offensive reps, but I was back up on like kickoff return, and man, somebody went down, and I'm the next man up, right? I was like next to the last line, and man, they point at me, they start saying they're gonna sky kick it to me, and sure enough, man, they kicked the ball to me. And had a return or two, and Central was mounting to come back, and man, I think like the second return, I think I fumbled, my only fumble in college, man, and I can't remember fumbling in high school, but fumbled, man. I had having to run over there to Coach Hayes and thinking he's gonna rip my head off in this game, and him just wrapping his arm around me and tell me to, you know, calm down, settle down, and you know, reassuring me, man. And you know, after that, man, I never, you know, had an issue with, you know, going out there and playing my heart out for Coach Hayes, you know. So he knew I was gonna give it my all. Again, I was playing, you know, with the spirit of these guys that's on here on this podcast, man. So, you know, I played the game a little differently. I was an offensive guy, but I definitely tried to play with the same spirit that the defensive guys had in that Blue F defense. So, you know, I did see Coach Hayes get after it a few times, man. And what I remember the most in the year that he had the chance to coach me was the talks and the way he poured into us, you know, post game, in between practices. Some just those random days when it's just a practice and you end up, and Coach Hayes gives you an hour-long talk afterwards, man. And those are some of the same values and things that he taught us that we talk about to this day with our teammates, man. And it still rings true. So you can lean back on those things. And as Chris said, man, these got a lot of Coach Hayes' former players are coaches, and they're teaching the same thing. So when he talks about his roots and his veins running deep, you know, throughout, you know, the nation and the Southeast and especially in North Carolina, it's true, man. You can see a little bit of Coach Hayes all throughout this state. And anywhere you turn on the TV and see some football, you can see his influence. And not many people know how Coach Hayes got to start coaching in the ACC and the influence he had on PWI coaches. You know, he taught many guys to run game. You know, and you know, I'm just so happy that, you know, again, we're getting a chance to celebrate him. But if you really go back and look at his lineage and where he started from, and when he came to A&T and what he was able to build, you know, towards his 97, 98, 99. You know, that's as good as it gets, right? 99. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Go ahead, Chris. Yeah.
Hey, listen. Yeah. I before that the Blue Death started with Reggie White,
Now listen, we trying to. Reggie White was going to be a guest on the show. He's still trying to get on. I think he ran through some logistical stuff too. And I can tell you, man, this has been a great fun week. This is the first time we ever try to do something like this. So everybody's trying to reshuffle their schedule at the last minute. So I appreciate Coach Hayes first and foremost, and then all you guys. But like you say, that 91 team.
Yeah.
My Lord.
93 too. 91.
Before Reggie White's about to come in here shortly, but let me show you some clips of Reggie White just to show you what type of man child he was. And he's talking about somebody played a 3 technique.
3 technique.
And he had to eat up blockers every play. It wasn't like 101s. Like you had the same thing, Chris. You had to go against about 2 people every time, but every time he put his hand in the ground, there was 2 or 3 guys trying to push him the opposite direction. And he still got sacks and made plays behind the line of scrimmage. Let me show you Reggie White.
All hands on deck for this one.
Back to pass again is Marvin. Under pressure. Trying to escape, loses back to the 45. A loss of 3.
Big 98.
Big 98, Reggie White. He's a player to watch. Convincing score and drive.
Keeping it on the ground. Nothing doing for Kenny Gathers. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it. 98, Reggie White, senior out of Baltimore's Mulford Mills High on the stop.
Well, I'm impressed with the defense, Charlie, of the Aggies of North Carolina A&T, better known as the Blue Death.
There it is.
Defense.
Yep. Let's start.
Yep. Reggie White.
He's just scraping down
line. Game already.
Yes, he has.
In 1 quarter. As there was nothing doing for the offense of South Carolina State.
Just a terrific job by Big 98, Reggie White.
9 sacks on the year.
3 tackles already.
3 technique. Yep.
That's crazy. Now listen. Hey, Chris, tell these folks who might not be football savants. Tell them how hard it is to get a sack from that position on the field.
Oh, man, you are always double teamed. You get chips. You get to have 9 sacks as a 3 technique. Like you're gonna always the guard and tackle's gonna always
and the center.
And the center, yeah, you're right. And then you might get pulled or track and to have 9. And then we ran back in that era. Hold on, they ran the football.
That's what I'm like. It ain't like it was the air raid offense.
Yeah. So for him to have 9 sacks, he's a dog. I tell people all the time, man. When I first came to A&T. I remember there was a picture Coach Hayes had.
That was that picture. Mm-hmm. Yes.
You know what I'm talking about, Clue?
I know.
Sitting up there, Reggie looking back.
Had Reggie White. Yep, Reggie White looking back. But it also had Kevin Little and all of them boys was sharp at some place. And I just remember saying, "Yo, I'm one day that's gonna be me."
Those are some great photos, man. I think they're still hanging up in there, man. But if you played in the last 20 years, man, those photos when you sat in that office,
you remember them. You remember them photos.
Oh yeah.
And I think, to be honest with you, like that's what drove me. That's when I found out Kevin Little had 17 sacks. I said, "Okay, I got you." And that just was. From that point on, it was just like that. That's my goal. Whatever I gotta do, to get that, to achieve that. And I mean, that it is. And a lot of us now, a lot of kids, I think Sean and coach and all them changing it, man. But I tell kids all the time in my own youth football organization, man, know the people before you. Like, don't just if you come in here and I'm coaching you, go do some research on me. And know why I am the way I am. You know what I mean? And a lot of our kids don't understand. My kids in my household do that, but a lot of kids just don't research before them. Like Clue, I can tell you, Clue already knew probably everybody before him. You know what I mean?
Yep. Remember Kevin Little coach for a little while for us, but he coached us for a little while.
Yeah.
And I remember talking to Kevin Little for a while, and that's when I really started, he started telling me who the people were on the wall, because I didn't know who the people were. It was just big dudes to me. But
Hey, so guys, real quick, I'm about to give Coach Hayes a call. Doug, take over for a second while I give Coach Hayes a call. But one thing I do want to find out from Darryl Clue is you're probably one of the most cerebral guys that played on a defense, right? You know, you hear about defense who got blue death, and it just seems real, you know, just this morbid. But talk about what Coach Hayes and the defensive coordinators at the time, talk about the intellectual component, because you guys had to play against running teams like Bethune-Cookman, right? And then you had Howard and FAMU, and every week it was something different. Talk a little bit about that. And I'm gonna give Coach Hayes a real quick call.
Yeah, it was, and yeah, so Coach Hayes is, you know, Wild Bill, and he get out here and give all the rah-rah speeches and everything, but he was a tactical person as well. Like, even so offense, he knew the wing tee. Like, there's nobody that's gonna master the wing tee like Coach Hayes did, right? So the wing tee, he had that mastered. But every now and then he would come over to the defensive side, and right at that point we had Coach Hicks coaching, and it was like, no, Coach Hayes would come over and veto, you know, slam it down and say what we're gonna do, and it'll make it work. And specifically, so like Samaj was saying, we had to play everybody from a running team like South Carolina State, who was going to try to run it down your throat, all the way to FAMU, who was going to come out in Quinn's first play of the game. and it took us a while to really, I guess for my 4 years, to really master what FAMU was doing, because we was running at that 8-man front, because we had to stop running the run back in them days. You couldn't be on your heels. You had to go and stop that run back in the day. And even though we had C-Mac and House and all them, we had some good pass rushers, Pelshak and all that, we still had to, you know, protect the pass against teams like FAMU. So I remember we switched it up one year and went with a whole new defense called Field Cover 7. We moved Dwayne Carpenter back on the hash with me. And that was the year where we beat FAM for the MEAC championship. And Coach Hayes is the one that made that modification during the week. I remember. I don't even think I remember because I forgot what our record was, but we were basically playing FAMU at home for who was essentially going to win the MEAC championship. Most of us didn't go. I mean, we all graduated. Most of us didn't even go to class that week. We was all in the film room. We was hyped. Even as an engineering major, they're not going to class that week. Coach Hayes put in a whole new defensive front just for FAM, just so that we know we can come out and stop the passing game that they had. They came out in Quinn's that first play. I think like early in the first quarter, I hit Nunnally. It was that dude, Jacques Nunnally, knocked him out the game. We was good after that. We had Coach Hayes tactically put in a whole new defense that 1 week, and we went out there, beat up FAM, went on to the champion MEAC championship, Black College national championship, all of that. So as much as Coach Hayes was a dog, could motivate, could tell you all the stories, tactically he was that guy as well.
You're right, and it does come down to the X's and O's a lot of times, but damn, y'all had some Joes. They had some Jimmys and some Joes on that squad. We didn't even name Kwasi Mitchell, and like you brought up Carpenter, man.
Yeah.
There were no weaknesses on that team. I mean, of course, there was NFL talent, but to your credit, you know, you spoke about those 4 years. You guys grew into that defense, and like you said, by that fourth year, you were back there calling the shots, you know, playing quarterback of the defense, and you had all those weapons, and you could draw up something like that and put a scheme together with an athlete like Carpenter. Because Carpenter was great. He had that breakout year. He had the big play down at Bethune-Cookman. I think he had the scoop and score or some type of turnover, took it to the crib, man. But, man, you're right. Every team that y'all played that year and during that era, I mean, even Hampton had a strong running game. Every team you went up against, I mean, it was a battle. The Norfolk State game is when I think we kind of came together. You guys got it rolling, man. But elite talent, elite football players, but the chemistry, man, like everybody had each other's back. You know what I'm saying? But Jaquay Nunnally, he was a tough dude, man. That's probably the only other guy that I used to like. You know, I was a receiver, so I had to respect him, man. He would put up numbers, but you're right.
Put up numbers.
That was all she wrote, man. He was done. I mean, he was in every magazine, and in the Black Voices Quarterly, you know, all up in the magazine. He was the man. But man, that was one hell of a game, man.
Hey, y'all talking about FAMU 99? Y'all talking about y'all talking about the big hit? Have you talked about the big hit?
Yeah, I was telling him about that.
Don't talk about it.
Nunnally and Lamb. Here we go. There you go. It was over after that.
It was over.
Boom, gone. That was your boy, Doug. That was your boy.
Yeah, they go Lamb going to check on him. Lamb was the other slot guy.
Yeah, they was in all the magazines. They was in all the magazines and everything. We was like, nah, we ain't going. Me and Carp, and we was like, nah, I ain't going to class. We gonna get ready. And that right there, hit right there, set it off. It was a wrap after that.
Yeah, that was it, man. That was a huge game, man. I still think that's probably one of three championship games probably in the last 30 years, Craig. It was all on the line. The 99 game. I know Broadway won one at home over Central, and we actually beat Hampton in 03 to win it at home. But the anticipation and the build up before that 99 game, Coach Hayes talks about it on that video clip when they highlight that season in 99. He said the anticipation for the game. He said the chancellor was excited for the game, the bookstore, people at the cafeteria, everybody was fired up for that one, man.
We didn't go to class. I'm telling you, it was no class. It was football week. It was football all week.
I think there's a record, but I think that was one of the only non-homecoming sellouts, right? It was, in the off weekend. It wasn't homecoming. It wasn't a classic game. And have a sellout late in the season.
Was that with Doug? Was that when Tom Joyner came in '99?
He did come in '99. They came to the morning show. Okay, that's what Tom Joyner used to do, the morning show, and they came and did it in the gym or something.
Was that the FAMU game at homecoming?
No, it wasn't homecoming. It was this was later. This would have been the last home game of the season, I believe.
Yeah, it was. This last game of the season.
And we got that great shot of Coach Hayes holding up the trophy, right there.
Hey, real quick, Daryl Clue.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna ask you a question. You just tell me your honest feelings. Honest feelings, right? Don't sugarcoat. Don't hold back. What does this right here mean to you?
It's football week. It's football week. It's football week. It's football week. It is football week. Hey, I tell you no lie. There was so we were playing South. That was that same year, '99. We were playing South Carolina State.
Yeah.
In the Panther Stadium, and it was we had already won the championship, but this was for we was basically trying to see what we were going to be ranked going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I remember, Tennessee State was supposed to be the top ranked and everything else. So we went out there to try to mash South Carolina State so we can move up in the rankings. And so I was one of the captains, and we went out there to for the coin toss, whatever, right? And they started playing "We Ready" on the loudspeakers. And
I remember that.
we talking to the South Carolina State the captains, like, yo, about to do the coin toss or whatever. We look over. We had on all gold, and the team is jumping up with that right there. We ready, and we looked at this. We was like, "Oh, it's over. It's a wrap for y'all." They looked over there. They was looking in the eyes. Like, "Oh yeah." I think that was the game. I forgot what. It might have been the game where they won the call. Where we won the. I think we won the toss, and
Mondo.
We said we would defer, and they said they would kick.
And
so we got the ball at both halves. They
were
so shook, I think. They were so shook because they saw it. They were so shook when we pointed over there to the whole team, and you can imagine what the team looked like. We was ready to bite their heads off, and we over there bopping till we ready. And they looked over there. I think I deferred, and they still decided to kick. So we got the ball the first half and the second half. And we won. Yeah, we was. Shook. We had them shook from that song right there.
And so guys, if a lot of people, probably younger folks watching the show now, they're wondering what was that? Just a bass group? So that was the song "No Play in GA" by Pastor Troy. What was the equivalent of who Pastor Troy? Doug, who was Pastor Troy today? Well, what type of artist on that level? Because he was the underground king of hip hop for about 3 years, and he had the song right about 98, 99 called "No Play in GA." He was doing that Master P at the time, and okay, so y'all remember what was that that song that we played at the Celebration Bowl that everybody played it, that bass group, the basketball player's name? the NBA.
Mo Bamba.
Mo Bamba. So no play in GA was like Mo Bamba, and every stadium played it, but it was kind of like our adopted song. And that '99 team, when y'all heard it, it just
look. Hey, there's a clip. There was during that '99 game, that FAMU game, when the game was tight.
Yeah.
Coach Hayes sent somebody over there to tell the band to play that damn song. Play that song. That's the song, man. And they went over there and told Dr. Johnny B. Hodge, rest in peace, told Dr. Hodge to fire it up.
Yeah.
And Dr. Hodge and the Coach Hayes, man, they both two legends, man. So that was one day where they were in unison. And Dr. Hodge fired it up. That was all she wrote, man.
Boy, we used to get so much energy from that, man. Oh, yeah. I'm thinking back to it now. I'm like, yo, let's just do a little something right now.
Here it is.
Yes.
So you hear that in the locker room, man. I just know that if you ain't ready to play football after that, then you don't ready to play football. Then you need to find another sport. You need to find another sport,
If you going around, if you looking for us, you don't need no chin strap, you don't need no mouthpiece, you don't need nothing. You just need to strap it in and let's go.
Yeah. Hey, so we got another addition of the Blue Death defense in the room. We was talking about him, Mr. Reggie White. Reggie, you played for Coach Hayes in those early '90s. You were like the bedrock of that original Blue Death defense. And like we was talking about Chris McNeil, he couldn't believe it. You had so many sacks as a 3 technique. So real quick, while we got Coach Hayes here, what was it like early on to play for Coach Hayes as a member of that Blue Death defense?
First of all, hey everybody, sorry I'm late. I apologize, but first of all, you were a little nervous playing for Coach Hayes. You better give him your best. You're Jenga Jenga. Man, it's nothing like it, man. One of the greatest mentors I've ever met in my life, man. It was just, he had total command of the whole Aggie land, of everybody. I'm talking probably he had the president, everybody. That's not the team. And, his word was law, period, point blank. And we all believed in him and followed him, man. It was great. Loved it.
So right as you know, our website, our little platform, me and Craig, we was thinking back in the day. This is probably 1999, 2000. What we gonna call ourselves? And we came up with Blue Death, the Blue Death family, and Blue Death Valley. But when you guys were playing and that name Blue Death stuck, what was that like? Because I mean that almost went viral, right?
Yeah, he gave us an identity, man. It was me, Mike Grillcrest, Knox Thompson, Kevin Little, Glover. We had a defense that was Skibo. We had some guys, man, and it was ridiculous. We got after it pretty good, man, real good.
And we talked about the way that defense kind of morphed around. Were you guys a 4-4, or when you played? What was your the front? The 4-3?
Yeah, we had 4 down linemen and we had 3 linebackers, so we were a base 4-3.
Okay.
I played the 5, then I played the 3. Knox and Gill played the nose. Kevin Little played the other end. He played the wide side. I played the tight side.
Good deal.
So we had a little rhythm to it, man.
All right. So when Coach Hayes recruited you, and you're a big guy, you're 6'4", 295. What did he tell you he expected from you? What did he want from his interior lineman?
Well, the crazy part is, and I'm not sure how many people know this.
Yeah,
Coach Hayes didn't recruit me. Mo Forte recruited me, and so I was a big time recruit, and all I heard was red shirt. I was like, what is that? And they're like, you're not gonna practice. I mean, you're not gonna play, just gonna practice. I was like, that's not happening. I didn't know any better. So I said, I'm gonna call down A&T. My brother says there's a lot of pretty girls down there. I said, my brother went to Coppin State for basketball. And so I called down there, and I think Coach Hayes answered the phone. I said, how you doing? This is Reggie White from Baltimore. I want to accept my scholarship. He said, son, we don't have no more scholarships. We done. What's your name? I said, it's Reggie White. He said, son, we ain't got nothing. And Linwood Ferguson was in the background. I hung up the phone. Linwood put that tape in. 5 minutes later, so we got a scholarship for you. We got a scholarship for you. I'm going to have Ferguson and Ferguson at your doorstep, 6 a.m. And they were there, 6 a.m. That was it. I never visited, never came down.
Wow.
It was just the luck of the draw, man.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the true story.
And so you played, you graduated in 91, and you were drafted 6th round by San Diego Chargers in 1992.
Correct.
Had a great career, played for the Chargers and the Patriots in the NFL. And then your son actually was a professional football player.
Yeah.
And we all talking about just the impact that Coach Hayes continued to have with all you guys after you left A&T. Could you just talk a little bit about the way he still kept in touch and he still molded you?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. My first year in the league, every Saturday I'm calling him personally. Coach, how we do? What we do? What you know? I can send you something. I got some stuff I can send now, so I would send little care packages or whatever I could, put together and stuff like that. And I was just so involved. Like, Coach, what you need? And I wanted to be back and be there, and because you never get to see A&T while you're playing for A&T, and it's crazy. I can remember my first game coming back watching, and I was like, I didn't know all this went on. We just locked in all the time because just everything that he taught me, from me raising my kids and me being married 31 years. I mean, it's all a little bit of influence from him, and it's crazy. We work hard. I know he likes to have fun. I can remember him and Robert Pulliam and Godet and seeing them laugh. I was like, I want to do that one day. So I've been coaching. I've been coaching the last 27 years. So that's directly from Bill Hayes.
And Chris, you started your own youth organization, and you guys are a championship football program, and you do cheer and all that too in the Charlotte area. How often do you find yourself doing a Coach Hayes-ism, saying something that he told you? How many times do you catch yourself being a version of Coach Hayes now in the other way?
Man, probably at practice every day. I just tell my kids one thing I never forget. Coach Hayes said, You can't cheat football. You can't cheat it. It's gonna show up on Saturdays. You can't cheat football.
You ain't cheat football, bro.
And that, you know what I mean, Clue. And that is always stuck with me. You know what I mean? When you cutting corners, then that next man out there, he running harder than you. You know what I mean? It's gonna show up. So everything in my youth organization, we run fifths, we run jingle jangles. We run heels. My practice starts out with about 30 minutes of no water, high intense. So by the time you get ready to go to individual, and mind you, these are kids that between the age of 4. My son is like 4 to 12.
Hold on.
It starts at from 4 to 12. You know what I mean? Hey, I don't play. And I tell you, if you bring your kids to me, I'm a coach the way I coach. My mouth is bad sometimes. You know what I mean? But the one thing I tell them, like if I'm telling you this right now, this the only way I know, and this is what I've been taught. If you know something different, go and take your child to that program. But we gonna run. Like we practicing tomorrow. We got a championship, my 10 and under team. We got a championship on Sunday. We practicing tomorrow, and I'm gonna run the hell out of them tomorrow. We practice Sunday. I don't know no other way. We're gonna be in shape. We're gonna be aggressive. We're gonna hit. And everything else, the cards will fall where they're gonna fall at. You know what I mean? I run the football. Probably throw it 3 times out the whole game. But that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna line up. I'm gonna run straight at you and see what kind of man you made of. You know what I mean? So
that sounds like Bill Hayes.
I'm telling you, man. So it's the same thing. And then I think about a year and a half ago, we went Sam was coach. I brought my whole org up there. He let them all meet the coaches and the players and stuff. You know what I mean? So, it's for me to be able to have a nonprofit here. I just got sponsored by Dick's Sporting Goods right here in Charlotte, man. And to give back, to be from Charlotte and to be able to do this with these young kids, man, yo, it's a blessing, man. But yes, everything I'm doing, a lot of it's Bill Hayes. I learned how to, if that's what works good for him and was successful for him, I'm not gonna change it. I'm just gonna copycat it and do it in the 2025 era, and that's what I do. So,
that's awesome. And Clue, I know you got to go real quick. So before you leave, you give me 30 seconds.
What's up?
You had an awesome career at A&T, and then after you with engineer, started your own firm, sold your company, and then you decided I'm just going to go to law school. I'm gonna be a Renaissance man. Just tell me how Bill Hayes and watching him go from head coach to athletic director, right? To philanthropist, to businessman in the community. How did you model your life after what you learned from him?
Yeah, actually talked to Coach Hayes about it too before I went to law school. Was telling what I was planning on doing. He was like, "Man, that's great." So I made the decision during the pandemic, and I remember talking to Coach Hayes over the pandemic at one point. So it was something had to do with Hall of Fame related stuff. We were trying to figure out what we were going to do about remote work, remote meetings and all kind of stuff. It was everybody trying to figure out life in the world. And I told him what I was planning to do. Is like, man, you can do anything you put your mind to, man. You gonna go down there and do whatever you put your mind to, you can do it. And Coach Hayes has always been encouraging. Like, you get a coach and he's hard on you, and you make you run and make you do this and that. But it was never something that nothing despicable. It was always to make you better. So Coach Hayes has been one of the more encouraging people in my life, period, in terms of people that I look up to and respect. So I talked to him about what I wanted to do and why I was wanting to go to law school. I wasn't going. I know people would be like, "Yo, you just doing it for fun. You just doing it." It's like, nah, I'm really doing it so that I can helping change the community for the better for us. I'm going for us. It's not just me. I don't need to go to law school. I'm doing it, but we kind of need some people like us like me to go to law school. So, explained the whole thing to Coach Hayes. He's been super supportive. I didn't know I was going to do as well as I did, but same principles, working hard. Don't be average. Everybody who played for Coach Hayes know that don't be average. Ain't nobody want to be average. And don't cheat football. Don't cheat anything you love, because you owe it to yourself and whatever you're trying to do to give your best. That's what I've been doing in life and business and school and everything else. So a lot of the principles that I take forward with me, and then I help my mentees and everybody else are all a lot of them are derived from my time and being mentored by Coach Hayes. So owe a lot to my success, and I'm sure a lot of people that play for Coach Hayes owe a lot of our collective success to Coach Hayes. That's why we all stand up and support whenever we can, and we show up for Coach Hayes, because he's been that solid person in all of our lives.
Gotcha. All right, go ahead and do what you gotta do. We're gonna get you back on the show, and we're gonna go another trip down memory lane. But you go ahead.
Clue. Absolutely. All right, y'all. Good seeing y'all, man. Y'all take care.
All right, Clue.
Man,
that was good stuff, man. Clue's true Renaissance man. So look, we're about to wrap this up, man, because I know everybody's got some issues and everybody's moving around, and you got practice tomorrow, Chris. You see, you're not gonna let the 4-year-olds get no water for half an hour. I don't know about that. Hey, Doug, don't call CPS yet. Let's let them work it out, man.
Hey, Mars, you got 30 seconds for one story.
Oh man,
we got time, man.
Listen. I think it's 1990. We go up to Howard University. They 6-0. We 6-0. Howard's homecoming. And Howard got this tunnel that goes from the locker room to the field.
Right.
Somehow we all we in that tunnel together. So that's Coach Hayes and what's his name, the head coach, Coach Wilson, Steve Wilson.
Yeah.
So we side by side. It's quiet. Minute 2 go by, get a little chatty. About 2 more minutes, it's rowdy. And so the purpose was who was gonna go out first. And Coach was like, I'm not going, da. So it starts getting a little out of control. Coach Hayes grabs Steve Wilson, kisses him, and he says, "Let's go. Come on." I said, "We with you, Coach." We get out there, and, we stretching, dust settled down. I said, "Coach, why you kiss that man?" "Reggie, that was the kiss of death." Now, that man, listen, boy, I tell you, that's that Coach Hayes, man. He's something.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
That's the milk of the head, boy. He wasn't ready to coach after that, man.
Yeah. And Craig, maybe you can sum it up, because let's give you guys a little more insight. When we first put this together, we started about this. It was Coach Hayes was a guest on our show early last year, and we just like, man, you know what? When's your birthday, Coach? He said June 1st. I said, first week in June, we're gonna do the whole week for you. And the reason why, it made sense at the time, and Craig, it made sense to Craig, so it made sense to me, is that this is not just important history. It's vital. Like the stories that you guys have, the information that you guys have accumulated, the impact you guys had on the world, it has to be remembered. It has to be told. And with Coach Hayes, the same way, we will not forget. That's one thing you guys don't have to worry about. Chris, you're 21 and a half. That's never going to be forgotten in A&T football lore. Reggie White, like I said, I don't know how many sacks you had as a 3 technique. That will never be forgotten. And Coach Hayes, I know you're here, but all the wins you had, all the championships, all the lives you changed, everything you did, that will not be forgotten. Not on our watch, right? And the football players that come today, they're going to learn this. It's going to be like freshman orientation. You got to learn what that early Blue Death and what Coach Hayes, what he did. And we got a cookbook, and we'll keep every recipe. That's our mandate. Craig, just talk a little bit about the importance of knowing that history.
Yeah, too much of history, especially in black college football and black colleges, athletes in general, has been lost. The younger generation that's coming up now don't have that. Back in the days of segregation, because I can talk about that.
Yeah.
Black kids all over the place knew about HBCUs. They knew the Winston-Salem States, the A&Ts, the Howards, the FAMs. That was commonplace. I mean, if you were aspiring to go to school, that's where you were going to go to school. There was an identity there that there's an identity there with HBCUs that is unique. No other form of education, higher education, can compete with it. It's from the heart, it's from the soul, it is who we are as a people. And we can't afford to lose this. We have nurtured it, and with everything that's going on these days, it's easy to forget. It's easy to get caught up in all this NIL this, and I'm going to be on TV for that. For a lot of kids that are coming up who aspire to go to college and play whatever sport they excel in. They get caught up in all that hoopla, all that ESPN crap, being on the highlights, being on TV. But it's more to it than that. It's what you do after all the cheering has stopped, all the games have been played. Are you going to be prepared to deal with life, to deal with the challenges that you have to deal with on a day in and day out basis? And only HBCUs can do that for our young black youth. That's just the bottom line. So we've got to keep nurturing this, keep passing these stories and these legacies along to the next generation, and on and on and on. And as long as we do that, we're going to be fine. We are survivors. And no matter what they throw at us, we'll be prepared to deal with it. That's the key.
Well said.
Well said.
Hey, so guys, let's get out of here. I know Coach Hayes, he's in his hotel room, and you understand, Coach Hayes, I think he flew down like 3 o'clock in the morning. He got up at 3 o'clock in the morning, flew down to Atlanta. He's been hobnobbing, rubbing elbows with the elite down there, the HBCU, I think it's Hall of Fame or some college Hall of Fame down there in Atlanta. And he's on the golf course, so he needs to probably lay down and get some beauty sleep. and we keep pulling him this way and that. We talked to those pretty boys a couple of days ago, Chris, those quarterbacks, and they had something to say about you guys. But so I wanted
don't worry about it, Samaj. I got it. Hey, Connell, if you watching, you're the only reason that you and Craig got opportunities because we got 3 and outs, bro. We just kept getting a lot of 3 and outs. That's why y'all on the field so much.
Hey, what did Connell say? He said, ask Reggie about why when he asked Coach, could he hit him?
Oh, he wouldn't. Coach Hayes would not let me touch him. No, Reggie, that's how we eat. I said, Coach, just let me get him once. I said, he's talking too much, Coach. Let me get him. No, you can't touch him. You can't touch him.
So look, I know Bill Hayes wants to say a lot, and it's probably paying for him. He can't chime in right now with his connection. But maybe we'll get like a little video message in a couple of days, and he can just cap up this whole week. This is the first time we're doing it, but won't be the last time. Because guess what, Chris? We got this group. You might have heard of them called RBU, right? And they both the Mo's probably. I might have to get a bodyguard next time I'm on campus because Mo Hicks and Mo Smith, they probably hot that they didn't get a chance to talk to Coach Hayes this week. But next year we're gonna do RBU. That's gonna be one of the groups that come in here and talk about that running back relationship with Coach Hayes. And then we
listen, he got a plethora. He got a plethora from James White.
Oh man,
Prince, Steve Prince. He got a bunch of them.
Barry Turner.
Last night.
Shoot, Mo Higgs, Mo Smith. God almighty.
Yeah. That's gonna be a crazy show next year. So guys, we gotta just keep this thing going, come back. For all you A&T fans, Sean Gibbs is holding his first prospect camp this Saturday from 8 to 12 over at Truist Stadium. And you come out there and you can see some of the top prospects, and maybe some guys might get some scholarship offers on Saturday at Truist Stadium. If you're a football player watching this, definitely come out there and show your stuff. Coach Gibbs gonna do right by you. We're gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna let Coach get some sleep, and then we're gonna keep on keeping on for the next couple of days. Check out our social media. We'll be putting up some more videos and some trivia and all the kind of remembrance stuff. This has been Coach Hayes Celebration Week. The first one won't be the last one. Round the horn, guys. Just real quick. Give me a final thought. Reggie, Chris, Doug, and then Craig. Real quick.
Hey, man. Hey, I hate to say it because Connell said, but yes, we're going to give you your flowers while you're here, Coach. Thank you for everything, man, and just keep pressing. We got your back 100%.
Coach, I want to say, man, thank you for everything, but I just want you to love me how you love Connell and all your offensive players. Treat me the same way, man. Me and Reggie, we want the same love, too. But no, in all our fairness, man, thank you, man, for everything, cuz, Coach, you have deserved everything, and, it's blue death till the day we die. Defense win championships. Defense win championships. Offense fill up the stadium.
Amen. Again, thanks, Coach, just for providing that platform and that access and allowing me to be around and be in the epitome of Aggie football. I mean, you set the tone, and there's been some before you, a lot of great players and some great coaches before you, but when people think Aggie football, they still think Coach Bill Hayes and what you set in place in that foundation. And again, these guys on the podcast tonight, Reg, we talked a little bit about how your picture was up in the coach's office, and so many Aggies that didn't know who you were, or know your career, could look to that picture and see you with that jersey on and dream big. And so that was kind of a start for a lot of guys, and numerous Aggies, 20 plus years Aggies have come through that office and seen that picture. And if you're a football player, that picture does something to you. It makes you dream a little bit. So thank you for what you did in that uniform, and and Coach Hayes, again, just thank you for bringing these guys on and letting me have a little bit of access to them so they could shape my life. They were mentors for me before I knew what a mentor was, and it's just been outstanding, man. That's why we're here today. We're all here because of you, Coach Hayes. So thanks, man.
Yeah, great.
I just want to say it's been a pleasure to to be a co-host with this effort to honor Coach Hayes, and I'm gonna call him Dr. Hayes now because he has the paper now. I'm gonna call him Dr. Hayes from here on out. I'm not gonna call him Coach anymore. I'm gonna call him Dr. Hayes. It's been a pleasure having all these A&T greats, fine gentlemen, have done so well for themselves, and to hear the admiration and the real love, the true love they have for Coach Hayes is just it does my heart good. So it's been a pleasure, Samaj. My hats off with this to you when we talked about this idea, and we may not wait till June. We got some bye weeks coming up. We have some weeks that are kind of slow, so we may just sneak it back in here once or twice and touch base with Coach Hayes as the season goes along into the fall.
I like that, yeah. And guys, I want to apologize too, because obviously we had some technical issues, doing the show and even on the quarterback show, and that's all me because I'm a scatterbrain. And hey Reggie, my thing is I'm a visionary, but I'm not really a executioner. I have these grandiose plans, but I don't know how to bring them to fruition. So I can put it out there. But we next year we're gonna get started a little early, have more preparation. Probably try to do a live in studio thing where everybody's in the same setting. We'll get it figured out.
Hey, listen, I'll tell you what, I will drive that, or I'll probably fly there, but I'll get in Greensboro. I will get there.
Yeah.
Tell me a time and date. I'll get there.
So this is the first one. So the second one's always a lot better. But I just want to make sure this happened. Anytime, like I was telling you guys, I don't have a lot of money, not a lot of power. Only thing I got is my word. And when I say I'm gonna do Bill Hayes Celebration Week, I'm gonna do everything in my power to make it happen. And so that's what we're doing. Listen, if you felt inspired by this week and hearing these stories, and you just want to show some more appreciation to Bill Hayes, he has a Bill and Carolyn Hayes Foundation. It's at billhayes.org. That's billhayes.org. Go to that website, check him out. If you can, make it a small donation or a large donation to his foundation. It's going to go for a good cause, right? And it'll keep his legacy, keep moving and active. And that's all it's about, man. We will not forget. These stories will always be told, right? You don't have to worry about that. So for Daryl Clue, Jay Reed, Reggie White, Chris McNeil, of course, my man Dougie Fresh Brown, and the president, Craig Turner, and of course, the man of honor, the living legend, Bill Hayes. It's been an awesome week, awesome celebration. I'm Samaj Marsh. See you next time, guys. Aggie Pride.
Aggie Pride.
Aggie Pride.